Greetings, fellow slingers. Welcome back to Roll the Hard 20 podcast. It is I, your trusted handler, Brian, bringing you, once again, another show. Well, it took some time, but I told y'all, and I warned y'all, we were going to run it, and so we did. I got the hard slingers of yore, Tone Dog, and Samwise to join your trusted, very talented handler, Brian, once again as we bring to you yet another one of our Delta Green scenarios. This time, as you may have already guessed by the title, is Future Perfect Part 1, written by Dennis Detweiler. This time, while preparing to head home from Glenridge, our agents are requisitioned to take a detour to a small town in Death Valley National Park to solve the case of the Hellbend Killer. With similar overtones to the Glenridge chiropractor, our agents are the perfect duo to handle this case. Right? Well, let's find out. As always, be sure to leave us that 5-star rating and review on whatever podcast app you listen to the show on. Follow our social media footprints, and if you haven't already done so, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Roll the Hard 20. Be sure to hit that little bell so you never miss when we drop an episode. Not that I would let you. Hell no. I'll have to come over, knock on your door, ask for your phone, pull up the app, and click it for you. Yeah. So let's stop the horseplay, get to the gunplay, and let's warm up our dice and top off our glass as Roll the Hard 20 podcast presents our Delta Green run-through. Future Perfect, Episode 1. Yourself closer to your mic. Bring your mic closer to you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm recording right now.
We killed the monster. We did all that kind of stuff. I still got a flashlight. I don't have the flash grenade anymore.
Well, we're going to go over an after action report too.
Okay.
Sammy, pull your headphone cable off the mic stand. There you go. Or just lay it on the table. Whatever. Just everything gets picked up through that.
Sure.
Don't tell me sure. I'm telling you.
You got it.
We're on it. Start tapping the shit out of it. I'll tell you. Oh, we were ready.
We are ready.
All right.
Born
ready. Greetings, fellow slingers. Welcome back to Roll the Hard 20 podcast. It is I, your trusted handler, Brian, welcoming you to another scenario of our Delta Green run-through where we run Future Perfect. And with me, the hard slingers of yore.
Yeah.
Tone Dog.
Who?
Samwise.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, me. I got to tell you, it's always so fun. It's like a different vibe when you're actually sitting around the table and you're not playing via Zoom or something like that. And obviously a different vibe with you two sitting at the table.
Yeah. Sunday, bloody Sunday. You too.
You had to reach for that one, man. That was a reach.
I reached and I grabbed it by the oranges.
Not to be confused with E2. So before we begin, well, let's do a little after action report about all the stuff that kind of went down on a victim of the art.
Oh, let's go back to my notes. We took a side in a faction between Dr. Thornhill and the rest. We found out that there is a schism within the Delta Green at the FBI. One faction represented by Dr. Thornhill, and then another one represented by Hank Tyler, if I'm not mistaken.
Hank Tyler was the teenage boy.
Oh, sorry.
I'm
looking at my notes.
Yeah. The wrong ones.
Yeah. Well.
But you guys managed to do quite a bit with in following along with the clues, because there was a few people that had written in on the YouTube channel and through the Facebook page and stuff, and that had been following the show because it was dropping once a week rather than dumping all 5 episodes at the same time. And some of them were saying, yeah, they need to start rolling a little bit better. I'm like, yeah, they'll get fine. They'll be fine, And then as things started to develop, you could see that a lot of people were really enjoying the show. But when you guys made the connection between Dr. Moretti and Lauren Harrogate and how they were both called multiple times from the same number, you guys took it upon yourselves to go to Thomas Dengler's house.
Yep.
I don't know how your Domino's pizza thing didn't work out.
You know, my persuade skill, I was thinking, what could you do to improve his persuade skill? And I'm thinking my guy may have to take acting classes.
Hey, let's ask our connection with the police. No, let's try this pizza thing. Pizza scam.
But I mean, like, you guys wanted to interview the helicopter pilot who's not part of the adventure bout.
Yeah, and he was a little rude, but I can understand.
Well, his name's Milton. And then when you guys went and were going through Dengler's journal, and you saw the stuff about Hank Tyler and the buddies and stuff like that, I had originally thought that if you guys didn't get someplace that evening, that he would eventually die. He was supposed to be another character that died, and his co-pilot in the car would have been the person in the hospital bed. And I explained to Sammy how, when you guys would have been in the hospital room talking with him and trying to figure out what happened, that this IAPA, which was the winged servitor, would have came in, and you guys would have had this huge fight in this small room, with this laid up young teenager in the bed, and just...
Would the monster have to wear a face mask?
No, because they didn't have that kind of shutdown there.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, yeah. This is not present time.
It's not present time. But when you guys took it upon yourself to go to Hank Tyler's house, it's like, I just put the notes away at that point. We were like, let's just do
Trans
this.
Am
Just
rolling
up. We just totally just
Dude, I can totally picture that too. This thing just dropping down on this like T-top.
yeah,
or
like
whatever.
coming out of the dark, just ripping the ceiling out. And
Our poor friggin' cop contact guy, what was his name again? He's like,
Hanson.
heroic. And he goes insane. And I remember listening to the recording. I just started laughing at the poor guy. I'm like,
yeah, he went insane and all that shit.
oh, you gave him the hero's death there, Paulie. There.
I tried.
Yeah, man. That
I
was
tried.
good.
Yeah. Well, it fit the character. I was building upon what you had pioneered about the dusting of the pictures frames.
You've brought that up many times now. You
Yeah.
like that, huh?
I did like that.
Look at that. Look
Yeah.
at that. Even the cold, calculating analyst agent brings a speck of sentiment to his eye.
Way to go, Adesso.
Pussy.
Yeah, exactly. Touch with your feelings. Stop touching your feelings.
Well, the final stand against this, when you're going hand to hand with this thing and you're kicking it, and then you got
Flashbang.
Paulie flashbang. You got Paulie with the rifle snap,
that
just
elephant gun.
blasting in its head, and it was even when you guys contacted Thornhill and you guys were deciding what you wanted to do, and she's like, "Well, I'll take you to the airport," and you're like, "Nah, I'm not doing that," because who knows where you guys would have wound up.
Yeah, and I never did get that coffee with her, so
No, you didn't.
we still have to
There's always that
hit that up.
an opportunity. It's not lost; it's postponed.
Yeah.
Postpone. How soon does this event take place after our last one?
That's a good question. So let's get right into it.
Right on.
Bring it.
It's 10 a.m. on a Thursday. Place, Francis S. Gabreski Airport, about 100 miles east of Glen Ridge, Long Island. Paulie and Ichimaru, as you two sit waiting for your flight to return you to your homes, you could see on an overhead TV a news clip running. It shows a house engulfed in flames, lighting up the early morning sky. Although there is no sound, the subtitles relay what the talking head is parroting. Tragedy strikes a quiet East Coast town as early this morning a fire consumed the home of the Denglers, longtime residents of Glen Ridge, Long Island. It's reported that the swift-moving flames went unchecked for several minutes until first responders arrived on scene. Unfortunately, all within perished as they were unable to flee the residence to safety. With a smile, the reporter adds, "Arson is not suspected, but the fire marshal is still investigating." So you guys are currently in the airport, prepping to leave the East Coast, and I need for you both to make an alertness check.
I go insane.
Make a sanity check.
Yeah, I'm clueless. I'm at a 94.
I'm at 66, which is
Oh,
above
man.
my roll.
I have a bad feeling we're going to repeat the last thing with the bad rolls. We're still used to the D&D where you go in the high. A 94 would have been good.
Yeah, right?
I'm going to charge up my dice. Go ahead, brother.
So a few minutes later, and you hear the call coming across for the boarding of the plane that you guys are supposed to get aboard. They're talking about Group 1. You see people get up and go. You guys are obviously in the ass end of the plane.
We didn't even get group.
Nope.
We're probably
Didn't.
like at
Group 2,
yeah.
Group 3, Group 4, Group 5, which is your group, and you guys rise up and you guys start making your way with your tickets. And as you approach the stand, you see these tall, thin young man with mascara on his cheeks. Reaches out for your ticket, Paulie. And as he swipes it, it goes red.
No fly list.
And he says, excuse me, Mr. Odessa, would you mind stepping off to the side, please?
What seems to be the problem?
I don't know, sir. I'm going to have to ask security to come up to the gate for just a moment. For some reason, you've been flagged. I don't know why.
You must have had 4 ounces of toothpaste in your carry-on, and you're only allowed 3.
Next, please.
Here you go.
Here,
Where
take
should I
yours.
stand?
Well, sir, don't be that way. And he swipes yours, and it populates red. This is so strange. Oh dear. And he gestures that you go stand next to your partner.
My partner.
Then he starts waving other people through, and they're showing up green and green and green. A few minutes later, a security guard comes up, and he looks at the two of you, and he says, "Please come with me." And he starts walking you away from the gate that you're at.
Before that happens, do we still have our FBI credentials on us?
Yes, you do.
Then I would have liked to have asked that question beforehand. See if I can just bluff my way past this gate person to get on the plane using the FBI credentials.
I'll tell you what, we're going to roll off with the D20. No.
Oh, D20.
By the
Gotta
way,
roll the hard 20.
You know what? Page 9 of the player's handbook actually says that D20s are used in this game.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, there we go. Finally.
Now we can...
9.
7. 6. Jeez. Okay, guess not.
Well, this time we were supposed to roll above. We rolled below. So
We did.
Normally, that would have been a hit.
That would have been a
for
good
this
thing.
instance.
See,
Well, at least now Ryder doesn't have to change his whole game that he's been planning for the
Nope.
last 2 weeks.
I'm going to rip the fucking page out of the notebook. So the security guard starts walking you back through the airport. And as you guys start passing the gates, you got gate 22, 21, 20, he stops and he gestures towards the men's room. And you see standing next to the men's room is an individual dressed in janitorial attire next to a mop bucket. But one look at his crew cut and stern jaw and steel eyes, and you could tell this man is not a janitor. As he looks at the two of you, he grabs the barricade ribbon that seals it off and gestures for the two of you to enter the men's room.
I had to go anyways. Yeah, we'll go.
Sure.
As you guys enter, he puts the ribbon back and grabs the mop and starts doing it again. Inside the restroom, it's quiet, cold, and vacant, except for one man, Heisenberg.
Heisenberg.
Goddamn right.
Goddamn right. You see he's washing his hands in a sink, his eyes looking in the mirror at your reflection, looking back at him. Takes a paper towel, dries his hands, throws it on the floor. Turns around and looks at the two of you and says, "I'm sorry for the loss of Agent Carson, but there's a reason he remained a friendly and not an active duty agent for the program. He was unstable and couldn't bear the weight of what we know, just like Detective Hansen, or so I've heard. Let me ask you this. Do you think you were chosen because you were good with a weapon, or because you can kick and punch, or because you were good with a keyboard?"
Well, it would have been nice if our skill sets was appreciated, but probably not.
No, not at all. You were chosen because you passed a psych evaluation, one which you didn't even know you had taken. You see, we can't have agents out in the field breaking down and shit in the bed when the shit we know is in the shadows comes out to play.
Well, that one sure put a test to us on this last round.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we also can't have agents who are incompetent. And I have to admit, after what happened with the Bauman assignment and then the Hissler fuck-up, I wasn't quite sure what to expect with this latest milk run. But
Milk run. You call that a milk run?
I have to admit, the way you handled yourselves in Glen Ridge, I have to say I stand corrected, though. And it may not have been a milk run. And I don't know exactly what it was you saw out there. All I know is word on the wire says Anita Thornhill came out of there with something she didn't go in there with.
Well, we ended up taking care of what needed to be taken care of, and that was the goal of this whole thing.
Can you shed a little light on what it was you saw there?
We shed a lot of light on this, care of some flashbang grenades, but this creature defies description that we faced. And what it did to its prey, its chosen, also could be described, but is probably better to be spoken about, not in the men's bathroom, somewhere in a more secure area.
That man you passed that allowed you access to this restroom, this is the most secure room in this entire airport right now. Nobody will get past him or my other men in here. Sound off. And you hear from a couple of stalls, Spartans!
Courtesy flush, sir. Well, Paulie, you want to give a little description?
Basically, there was a archaeological find of significance. It didn't have anything to do with the actual find itself, the artifacts that were found, but it was more along the lines of what was discovered in there, a controlling mechanism in the form of a diadem that the original archaeologist had researched about and tried to translate. When he died, his grandson took it over, thought it was pretty cool to look at, but was unaware of its true power. And instead, when he decided to wear the diadem, or metal, or whatever it was, he began to manifest his thoughts in a bad way against what he termed was his enemies, high school kids that treated him badly, a girl that slighted him, the librarian that decided to keep him over on detention.
A dentist with a little bit too much pull.
Yeah. So those people began to die when the creature he could summon through this medallion would take their heads and their spines. Well, once we were able to figure out the connection, we took out the creature, we found and collected all the artifacts, the medallion, and all the reports that were surrounding the entire incident. That is, people talking about heads and spines being removed, bodies being dropped from a great height, and the reports and the physical, actual remains of the victims. We were able to recover all of it.
We cleaned the area as well as we could, with thanks to the Ice Queen's help.
Yeah.
Her and her agents.
So you clean the area. So does that mean you two are responsible for the Dangler residence?
That was not on our watch.
No, it wasn't on us. Thornhill appeared to try to recruit us toward her faction within Delta Green. Carter was a good guy. He was on one side, apparently, and she was on another. And she offered to fly us back to where we needed to be, and we turned her down. Actually, a little bit refreshing to see you here, despite the wonderful surroundings.
Well, had she flown you back, we would not be having this conversation, and you would not get this gold doubloon, Tone. Very well done.
Thank you.
Well, you should know that Hitler is responsible for the scientific advancements that the Nazis developed during World War II. Breakthroughs that we've already established that no country during that era should have ever had. But it should put a smile on your face to know that his own device wrought his demise. But on to business. So here's the deal. I need for the two of you to make a detour on your way home. You can relax, though. It's in Cali. And it shouldn't require more than a day or two for you to wrap up. Have you ever heard of a town called Hellbend?
Can't say I have.
Well, it's in the middle of Death Valley National Park. No one knows why Hellbend was built there, and in fact, no one gave two shits either. But during the 1940s, it was once a vibrant town and home to nearly 3,500 souls.
Hellbend in Death Valley was home to 3,500 people. Okay.
Back when a company called Hunt Electrodynamics ran the show. Basically, Hunt Electrodynamics ran everything from the schools, the town general store, the funeral parlor, and everything else that Andy and Opie would fucking need. The company provided everything, and the people liked it that way. Until one night in August of 1952, an explosion at the plant changed everything, killing 26 locals, including the founder of Hunt Electrodynamics, the elusive multimillionaire Arthur Hunt. In the wake of the destruction, the company fell under new ownership and headed to the East Coast. And without the newly Christianed Hunt Electronics, Hellbend dried up like the rest of Death Valley.
Christened.
Without the newly christened, without the newly named Hunt Electronics, Hellbend dried up like the rest of Death Valley. Now, decades later, only 84 people call this crumbling little shithole Hellbend home. Actually, my mistake, 82 people. And it's those two dead individuals that are the reason why you're heading there now. Let's just say that these deaths have the same kind of overtones as those you just solved. Bodies mutilated and shredded, indiscriminate when it comes to male or female. So we need this wrapped up ASAP.
I look down at my shirt as it's slowly a little small spot of blood showing. Yes, while I'm here, I think I need to change my bandages.
I got a medic on site.
That would help, because out of character, I have 7 hit points.
Thompson. You see one of the doors open. This chiseled dude comes out, ramrod straight. Sir. Fix up Ichimaru.
Thompson, can you wash your hands first, please? And flush the toilet. Come on.
Make it.
What
So he
about
starts field dressing your wounds and stuff.
supplies and ammunition, new identities, any of that stuff coming forth?
You'll be using your same FBI credentials. They got you this far. Continue using them. You're going to have a layover in L.A. From there, you're going to take a little puddle jumper to Furnace Creek. When you get there, you're going to hook up with one Sheriff Alfred Mann. You'll liaison with him, and he'll fill you in further and take you into Hellbend. If there's anything else you need, use the flip phone you got in your pocket.
Understood.
I've already deleted all the numbers out of it. Mine is the only one. As far as any rest you need, I suggest you take a couple of no-dos and start hitting the tarmac.
We get a private charter?
Yeah, it's called TWA. It's back there at gate 22. I made them hold the plane for you two gentlemen.
Got it.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of upset passengers on board. Ignore them.
Well, I'm sure the gate check person will be very happy that our tickets go green on this one.
You won't have to worry, he's been removed.
He was giving the eye to Ichimaru, man. He may have a fetish of some kind. I'm not sure.
Fetish? I'm a man.
He was wearing mascara on his cheeks.
He basically
Isn't
turns
that
his
an eye makeup?
back
Called
to you
contouring.
and starts talking with Thompson. Ichimaru, you're already dressed up. He hands you, you've been handed a clean shirt in a wrapper, basically to...
Shit, abracadabra. Yeah. All right.
He starts talking with his men, basically ignoring you for the duration that you're in the restroom.
Okay, well, we'll use the restroom now, I believe, since it's gross in the airplane, and then we'll head back to gate 22, was it? And, yeah.
As you guys pass through the door, you see the one individual that was holding the mop. He looks at the two of you and stops you and says, each of you should take one of these. It'll help give you a little bump. And he hands you each a packet with a pill each in it.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
I suggest you wait till you get on board, though.
Okay, are we, sans weapons?
Yes.
Okay.
Still sans weapons.
Okay.
Even though I think we may have been able to fly with them with the FBI credentials.
It's possible back then.
Yeah, back then, yeah.
Well, luckily...
Well, actually, it's 2005, so I don't think so after 9/11.
well, luckily I keistered my, my Tonto, so I'm good to go.
It's one big keister.
It's like a tongue piercing with his katana sticking through your throat.
It's my man purse, you know?
So you guys make your way to gate 22. You see an Asian woman there. Hello, I can help you. She takes your passes and, oh, Agent Ichimaru, Agent Adesso, we have been waiting for you. And
Sorry
soon as
about the delay.
Oh, it's all right. I'm not on the flight. So you guys get on board the flight.
We'll go right on in each. What do you think about these pills?
Well, I try to abstain from any sort of illicit substances.
Do you recognize what it is?
Maybe I do with my street knowledge of stuff. What would I be rolling for on this?
Criminology, maybe?
Probably medicine.
Medicine.
Or pharmacy,
I have nothing.
maybe? I got pharmacy.
I have neither.
Neither do I.
But there should be some sort of, since my guy was a criminal with a gang, having some sort of knowledge on stuff. Well, maybe I don't. Maybe I was a little bit too high up and not in the...
Maybe forensics.
I got a 41 in criminology. Forensics, I got a 0 in forensics.
I don't have that either. Yeah, okay. Well, never mind.
All right, so we're clueless.
Well, you could do a human int.
Okay,
And
what's that?
see, for human intelligence, to see if this guy that handed you the capsules was on this straight up.
Is that an intelligence roll?
Yeah.
no?
Should be in the middle column.
Yep. It's under 50, and I got a 54, so I'm clueless. Boy, this is...
You see it, brother?
Great.
No.
Middle column.
Oh,
It's-
I'm sorry. I wasn't even looking in that area. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Human. And, okay, under 10. All right. Yeah, missed that. Okay.
88.
Critical fail.
It's a great... oh, yeah. So what does that mean?
Nothing.
Oh,
Good.
means I'm now
Not right now.
-1 on human int.
Yeah, you guys have
Oh, wait,
no
that's
idea.
right. We failed it. We failed a couple things. Keep
Yeah.
track.
Yeah.
So we bring it. So
So you have no idea what these pills are. Just make a check in the box to the right of it.
All right.
what else did we fail? Oh, awareness. Yeah, because we were completely awareness. Is it alertness? That's the correct one.
Yeah.
Yes, alertness.
Got it. We failed that.
So you guys get on board. Your seats are waiting for you. You see a lot of disgruntled people. They're like, let's go already. We're running behind. You've only been gone like 7 minutes, and these guys are already bitching about not taking off.
Heads or tails, we take the pill.
I don't leave my choices to fate.
So let's roll a die.
Oh, instead of the doubloon, how about the hard 20? 10 or better, we take it. 10 or under 10, we don't.
Sure.
9.
What was your thing?
Under 10, we take it. 2.
2.
We're taking it.
I don't think our guy would be giving us anything that is...
Yeah, I don't think so.
Since we're going maybe after the mission, he would.
yeah, exactly.
So you guys
So-
pop your pills when you're
Yeah.
laying down, and you immediately feel this warm sensation throughout your whole body. It takes like about 2 minutes to start kicking in. It's really fast, but you start to feel refreshed and just not invigorated because you're exhausted, but it actually makes you feel better, and you zonk out, and you're out for the entire flight.
God bless
guys-
that man.
You guys wake up fully refreshed, full hit points.
We're going from East Coast to L.A.?
Yeah.
So it's like a 5-hour flight or
6.
6?
Probably like that, yeah.
Okay.
So from there, you guys wake up and take your puddle jumper, fly it on into Furnace Creek. You exit the plane on the tarmac and are immediately assailed by the heat in this region.
Furnace Creek's hot.
Yeah,
Just
it's still. I can't imagine what are the odds,
I
right?
can't wait to get to Hellbend.
Well over 100 degrees, probably closer to like 115, 120, and you move through the small airport, and you collect your gear, your baggage and whatnot, and you go to the rental car kiosk, get your rental car, and as you're walking towards your car, go ahead and make an alertness.
Is it the same lady as before?
No,
Wait a minute. Didn't he say we were going to take a puddle jumper to another
We just
one?
did.
you just
we
did.
just did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Sorry.
blazed through that, and we landed in...
Got it. Okay, 65.
oh, made it.
Still clueless.
Alertness, 43 out of 50.
So, Paulie, you're still shaking off the effects of what you took. Like, oh man, I feel like I just got a couple days of rest. Ichimaru, you're sharp as always, and you realize your bag feels heavier than it did when you checked it.
Okay, is it a place... where are we at now? Is it okay to kind
You're
of look
in
in and all
a
that? Or
parking structure where they give
Alone,
out the...
I mean?
Yeah, there's people wandering around different aisles further away.
But easy to
checking out.
zip open a
Yeah.
bag. Okay,
Yeah.
so I check your bag. I think we have presents. So I'll open it up.
Gotcha. Do that.
As you open them up, you see that you have the same weapons that you originally had. In fact, they're the identical ones that were originally issued to you back at Gabreski Airport in Long Island. So you feel like you have some sense of being able to sustain yourself if it comes down to that.
I'm sure it won't. Hellbend? Like, no problem.
So when you say the same weapons, just for clarifications, it's the same 2 Glock 17 9mm, an AR with a scope, just an M4. And do we have any extra flashbang grenades?
No, you don't have flashbangs.
Damn.
In fact, you don't have any extra ammunition.
You have the
either.
AR
Yeah.
in your back?
That was
kind of
that's
bag
what we
is it?
had.
Okay.
But wherever it came, when it switched planes to the puddle jumper to follow you, somebody must have messed with it at that point.
Okay.
So
Well, do the
it's basically like
clear and all that, and make sure everything seems to be in firing and order in the parking. Yeah, we'll give a couple rounds out.
Sure, no problem.
No, but I just want to check full clip, all that kind of stuff. We're good.
Full magazine.
if you fired off any rounds out of that magazine and you never replenished the rounds, you're still depleted by that many rounds.
The effects of the drugs are wearing on me. I don't remember what I had fired.
I'm not sure either. I know that he shot a couple times.
You
with
know
that
what? There's
AR,
enough
but-
in there.
Yeah.
I think you probably fired like 4 times, but you had spare mags.
Okay.
Just like the AR.
Yeah.
They broke the breech from the receiver and just basically put the 2 pieces in there.
Gotcha.
To make it smaller.
And my Tonto is in there as well?
Yep, everything
Okay.
in there.
Great.
Stuff that you would not have been able to check.
Okay.
Flashlights are in there, boom mics, walkies.
All right.
Who's driving?
Don't you normally drive?
I
Polly?
usually normally drive, yeah, so Polly will drive.
I almost made a joke that would have been offensive.
So you pull out onto the main street of this sparse suburban town of Furnace Creek, and you get the sense of small community. And there's a sign as you actually pull out onto it, and this confirms this. Population 108. You see signs pointing in different directions to the Furnace Creek Ranch, to the small retiree resort with tiny golf course.
Burning steps.
Yeah. There's a community swimming pool with palm trees, the Pleasant Motel with vacancy available. There's a large lot for housing recreational vehicles and a post office and a few shops and stores. And you see your destination, the Inyo County Sheriff's Office.
This is where we're going to meet Sheriff Mann. All right.
That's our contact,
Okay.
Sheriff Alfred Mann, Kern County.
Pull up to the sheriff's department. You can tell it's more of an annex. As you step out into the heat, Tiny doesn't begin to describe this box of a building. 40 feet to a side with 2 desks occupying the center and bars enclosing the back wall. You're greeted by a young man at one of the desks. Dark hair, clean cut, looks about 26 years old, and he rises to his full 6'1" height. And he addresses the 2 of you and says, "Afternoon, gentlemen. Can I help you?"
This is Special Agent Nakamura. I'm Special Agent Adesso. We were sent here to speak with Alfred Mann.
Sheriff
Alfred Mann.
FBI. Sheriff, man, he just stepped out. He'll be back in a few minutes. I'm Deputy Androsi. I'm sorry, I don't normally get. You flustered me. We don't see too many feds up this way.
Nice to meet you, Deputy.
Nice to meet you, Deputy.
Mind if I ask what this is about while we're waiting for the sheriff to return?
It's a matter of national security.
Oh, well, okay. You just let me know if there's anything I can do. Can I get you something to drink? Water?
You have any coffee?
Yeah, I got some coffee.
I'd
Want
love
some?
some coffee. Sure.
Sure thing.
Hey,
So-
did you want a coffee?
Sure.
All right.
You do great with those coffees.
I'll follow him there and just kind of start. Go
Okay,
ahead.
it's like off to the side.
Yeah.
There's a little refreshment bar of coffee, water cooler, and whatnot.
So as we're walking, you go, man, this is really hot here. I'm not used to this kind of weather. How hot does it get?
Oh, sometimes it'll get up to 125 around here. It gets really hot.
I would assume that you're used to it, but how can anyone be used to 125?
Nobody gets used to this, sir. I'm sorry, agent, sir?
Yeah,
Mister,
you
what
could
I
call me
you?
Ichi.
Ichi?
Ichi, yeah.
Is he scratchy?
I like that. It's good to have a sense of humor in this line.
Oh,
of
man,
work.
I loved that cartoon back in the day. Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, it gets hot around here. A lot of people stay indoors, but, there's not a lot to do. You don't go outside till the sun goes down.
Yeah, it's got to be tough. I bet the heat drives people crazy. By the way, I take my coffee black. Agent Odessa likes 6 sugars.
Wow.
Yeah, he has a bit of a sweet tooth.
No problem, sir. Agent, Itchy. Sorry.
Ichi, yeah.
Pours it in there and starts stirring it a little. Okay. And as he's doing this, you hear the front door open, and an older, burly man in his 50s walks in and wipes the sweat from his brow. You see in one hand he's got a small bag. Looks like it came from some kind of a sandwich shop. The star on his chest tells both of you who this individual is. And he looks at both of you and says, then he looks at his deputy and says, Lucas, what the hell's going on here? Can I help you, gentlemen?
Sheriff Man.
Huh?
Sheriff Alfred Mann.
Sheriff Alfred
Son.
Mann.
I'll take the coffees from him and walk over. Thank you, Lucas.
Agent Odessa. Agent Nichimura.
Agent?
Sheriff?
Agent to what?
FBI.
The FBI? And his eyes start to sparkle and a big smile comes across his face. The FBI? Well, we never get feds up this way. And I, for one, am always happy to have you been here. Well, but what can I do for you? What are you doing here?
We are investigating a couple of unusual deaths in your jurisdiction. Deaths that come with some grisly details. Would you like to talk about this alone, or is your deputy privy to the details too?
Oh, if you're talking about the 3 deaths that just happened here recently, Deputy Androsia found 2 of the bodies. But
Gotcha.
He's fully clued on in. I don't understand why the FBI finds the deaths so strange, though. I mean, they seem a little strange, but I find it hard to believe they warrant some kind of a federal investigation from you all.
Well, at this stage, we're not exactly sure, but the manner in which the victims have been reported to have died resembles some other deaths in other parts of the country, and we're wondering whether or not these are linked.
Most likely it's not, but we thought we would check out just to make sure.
Make an intelligence check.
Okay. Roll under 50. I'm not the brightest one.
Intelligence, yeah. Under 90.
What the fuck, dude?
40.
Under 90?
Yeah, he's got an 18
Check out
intelligence.
that big brain on Paulie.
Yeah.
Shit.
He's an intelligence analyst.
Paulie, you know as you're having this conversation that Death Valley is a national park. So any death would be purview.
To federal jurisdiction.
That's correct.
Yeah. Tell him, I'll mention that to him. And of course, Sheriff, you're also aware that any death on a national park would also fall under the jurisdiction of the FBI.
Yeah, but I don't understand why the 3 deaths would warrant you, but that's okay.
We're not sure either, but we got a job to do.
We appreciate any help that you can give us, you know.
You've probably already done all the hard work for us.
Well, we definitely try, but, even 3 deaths is too many in a town this size right now. We know someone or something killed him, whether it was an industrial type of an accident like Mr. Potter or maybe some crazy who went on a murder-suicide, but I think we kind of got it wrapped up by now, but...
Maybe you can show us, some of the files and then maybe walk us through it, because like we said, you've already done all the hard work, and we're trying to catch up with you.
Well, any information I have is going to have to come from the coroner. He's the one that's privy to all the bodies and the photos. I can walk you over there if you'd like. He's right across the street.
Oh, don't bother. You have your lunch right now.
Yeah.
So why don't you, if you'd like, eat your lunch and maybe you can meet us after. You said it's right across the street?
Yeah, but you better get over there pretty soon, because Abner, he likes to end his days early and start his nights early, if you know what I mean.
I understand. I'll hand the coffee to Paulie and say, hey, here's your coffee. I'll run over there real quick.
Paulie, as
and,
you're
you finish up
reaching
anything.
for your coffee, you feel your flip phone in your pocket begin to vibrate.
Gotcha.
I'll run to the coroners while you get the call.
Not a problem. I'll take the call outside as he's walking. Whip it out. Odessa.
Agent Odesso, this is Special Agent Louis Makamura out of Sacramento. We have a mutual friend, and I wanted to let you know, should you need it, I may be of assistance.
Thank you. Appreciate that. How do I get in contact with you again?
The number that showed up on your phone should be sufficient.
Excellent.
I wanted to give you a heads up, though. There's an assistant special agent in charge, Kevin Slotin, who runs the Bakersfield Residency Agency. It would be wise to stay off his radar. So be cautious who you talk with and what you report.
Thank you. I appreciate that most sincerely. So stay away from Scott. And anything else?
The line goes dead.
Okay.
Swap. Though I don't know because I'm not there.
Gotcha. All right, as I catch up to each, I'll brief him on it, saying we've got a friend on our side out in Sacramento headquarters for the FBI.
What's
Guy
his
by the
name?
name of Louis Nakamura. He warned us against the regional guy who's in charge of this jurisdiction, guy by the name of Kevin Slotin. He asks some untoward questions and maybe put his nose into this issue without truly understanding what he's getting himself into.
No reason why we should avoid him. Just
Right. He's not obviously one of us. He's not on the inside.
okay.
Ichimaru, as you're standing in front of the sheriff's pillbox of an office, you're looking across the street at a few of the storefronts or business fronts, and you see there's like a CVS, there's an old Blockbuster, and off to the right there looks like some kind of a building that's more nondescript. Its white blinds are drawn. You see that there's gold lettering on the front door, but from where you are in the gleam of the sun on it, it's difficult to make out what it says on the door.
Okay. I guess we walk over there, right? Did you catch the coroner's name, Paulie?
Yes, his name is Abner.
As you guys make your way across the street,
Looking both ways.
of course, there's very, very little traffic, maybe one car every minute and a half, another car going the opposite direction every minute and a half. Make an alertness check as you guys are crossing the street.
96. Good God.
69.
I need some
Miss.
sleep.
Miss.
But that's also another miss that I can write down.
Yes. So as you approach the door, you could see that as the reflection of the sun starts to change its angle, you can just make out that it says Inyo County Coroner, Dr. Abner White.
Okay. Well, does it appear to be open? Like we open? Did he already check out? No. We opened the
Well,
door.
the door's closed, but
Yeah, but that's
and the
what I mean.
blinds.
We'll
Okay.
open it. Okay.
Yeah, it's unlocked. It's open.
Okay. We'll.
Just as an aside, did Heisenberg tell us what we were supposed to do with this mission other than to find out what's going on with these deaths? Are
Similar-
we supposed to clean the site and gather everything like we were
I
before?
assume everything is that.
Yeah.
And then I
same thing.
assume that we will fail on one or more things, and he'll give us a rash of shit like he always does. But again, he'll call us again. Yes, I was going to ask how long it's been.
Like an
Day
ex-girlfriend on
after.
a bender.
Yeah. Hello.
So you open the door. You
Yeah.
hear the bell chime when you open it. Ding, 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 ding. And you hear from the back, I'll be right out.
Okay.
Abner Ravenwood.
A few moments later, you see the back door on the other side of the room open, and you see this old hunched man come through, balding with sparse patches of white strands adorning his liver-spotted dome. He looks at the two of you. Okay, can I help you two gentlemen? What can I do for you?
Dr. White, it's an absolute pleasure to meet you. Your work has made its way all the way to Quantico, Virginia. I am Agent Odesso, and this is Agent Nichimura of the FBI. We wanted to come in and ask you a couple questions about the bodies that you've examined, the 3 deaths quite recently in the park.
We just came from Sheriff Mann's office, and he said you were the one that we should talk to if we have any questions.
Well, can I see some ID?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
He looks at your ID.
Yeah, feel free to we
Roll a
can
couple dice.
go over
Sure.
to the sheriff's office.
Well, it looks very good. Well, gentlemen, what would you like to know? There's 3 victims.
Would we be able to see the bodies and perhaps any of your notes that you've taken on it? Because we're trying to play catch up here.
Sure, let me go in the back and I'll get some of the information and bring it out to you.
Okay.
And you see him go back to the door.
Is there a reason why? Is there a reason why he won't let us go back and see the bodies? I just asked.
We'll find out.
All right.
As you're waiting for him to return, the front door to the coroner's office opens, and you see Sheriff Mann standing there. How's it going? Is Abner still here?
Yes, he
Believe
is.
so. You know what? I wanted to check something real quick. I'm going to go outside around the building and see if our friend is boot scooting boogieing.
Okay. I'll talk to the sheriff.
Okay.
Yes. Sheriff Mann, we did speak with Dr. White, and he was very helpful. Showed him our credentials, and he says he's going to gather the information in the back. Although, I must ask, why... It's a little curious at this point why he won't let us see the bodies. We're going to have to do our own cursory examination.
Oh, you know Abner's very old school. He,
I love the face. I wish you guys listening could see Ryder's face. Or sorry, your trusted handler, Brian. He's got this like tight mouth, and he's talking like this. It's awesome. Go ahead. Sorry to ruin it.
That's Smokey the Bandit.
Yeah.
Buford T. Justice.
Damn it, Junior. It's like, well, he's very old school, and he takes his time, but he gets around to things. You can't rush the old man. He's been around for a long time.
Gotcha. Perhaps you could give me the best way to handle him, because we're going to need to take custody of those bodies and bring them back to FBI laboratory in Quantico.
Patience,
Of course.
son. Patience.
Patience.
As you're going around the building, you go around and you see that nothing's
Is there
abnormal.
any back
There's
door, I
a
should
car
say?
back there and it's
Okay.
parked. There's a back door. As you're doing that, Paulie, you and the sheriff witness Dr. White coming back in through the door
good.
again. He's got 3 envelopes in his hand. And he says,
Oh, Alfred, how you doing?
"Doing well, Doctor. These agents,
There were 2, right?
yeah."
Well, here you go, Agent. Adesso,
Yes.
And he
thank you.
hands you 3 envelopes. They're 8x10 size.
Dr. White, are these the original files?
they are.
Excellent. Would we be... we need to see the bodies. We absolutely need to see the bodies. As a matter of fact...
I understand that, son. Slow down.
all right.
I have no doubt you're a very experienced agent, but I need to preface you before you see what's back there. It shocked me as well. But I think if you look at the photos, you come to the same conclusion I did.
And he actually hands you the first envelope, and on it, it's labeled Lucille Mayer.
Now, I want you to know that my staff, who are fairly competent, took these pictures. So,
I can see that. This is quite... Paulie opens the envelope, pulls out the first picture, knowing full well that what he saw in the last one with head and spines removed probably can't be as bad as this. Yeah, lower mandible's gone. Probably not going to be as bad as this. So he pulls open the first picture.
As you pull it out,
You
notice
go
that there's a
insane.
stack of them. And just looking at these makes you balk. And I need you to make a sanity check.
Okay. Woo! I'm thinking after what my guy went through, I figured he would be a little inured and hardened to this.
You never become accustomed to the unnatural.
Never come accustomed to the unnatural. It's just something that festers in your soul and gets worse by the day. Exposure. It's like a rot. 31. Yeah, I'm good.
You do feel a little bit of bile start to rise, come back down. Ichimaru, as you come into the door, you see Paulie looking at a few photos. You see Sheriff Mann's there, and you see Dr. White there. Paulie, you're looking at these photos, and you see this body that's partially rammed under some kind of a rock overhang out in the desert. You could tell that definitely this, just portions of her skeleton are exposed. Portions of her extremities have been shredded off. And you could see on the cover of the envelope, it says severe trauma on it.
Can I do an alertness check and
The
see
heads-
Polly? See how Polly's doing?
Sure.
65. Okay. I wanted to see if I picked up on his thing, but I didn't. So sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt.
You can see that her rib cage has been shredded open. All of her intestines have been basically shredded out. And he looks at you and he says, and there's other pictures that all basically take pictures of the body from the same direction, or like different angles of it. Takes pictures of the rock overhang and where it was in contrast to the
Crime scene
desert.
photos.
Yeah, just crime scene
Yeah.
photos. And he says, as you're looking at it,
I had to identify her by her teeth.
Understood. This is quite unsettling, but your people are very good. As I said, your work has made its way over to Quantico. We've seen the results of some of the autopsies you've done here. It's top flight work.
Well, she was an amateur photographer who liked to go out in the wilderness and take pictures and stuff, and I attributed it to her some kind of a wild animal that possibly got hold of her. We've got a lot of wild stray dogs that live out here, and how they survive is beyond me.
The dismembered condition of the body, could that be contributed to scavengers?
Certainly so. Some kind of a predator that lives out there.
Did you determine the cause of death?
Severe blunt and cutting trauma, actually.
To what part of the body?
Well, the body had been out there for quite some time, and I couldn't tell you which wound she sustained first.
Did it look like she fell?
No, oddly enough, it looked like maybe she got attacked, pack attacked, and tried to hide under this outcropping here, and that was where they found her and took advantage of the situation.
How long do you deem the body to be deceased? Was it there for a while, exposed to the elements, therefore predators or scavengers could get at it, or was it fresh kill?
She was probably out there for about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks. Still got your lunch there, Agent?
Yeah, I still have my lunch. I'm just trying to figure out if you said blunt force trauma, but that doesn't...
No, blunt/cutting trauma.
Blunt and cutting trauma. Would that be consistent with an animal attack?
It's possible. If she was being chased, she could have tripped a couple times, banged herself around, tripped on the rock shelf before she got under there.
Did you notice any bite marks on the legs or claw marks or
There's some
fangs?
shredded marks, but being out in the desert for almost 2 weeks, the skin gets really dry. The animals, they have their way out there, not just the pack animals, but the insects. Quickest way is through the anus. It's the highway to heaven.
Were the other bodies in similar state, similar
he hands
decomposition?
you each. He hands you the second envelope that says Wayne Tissel on it.
I look at Polly. I go, is it as bad as you look?
Yeah. Yeah, it is each. You never get used to it.
All right, I'll open it up.
You see 6 photos pop out in your hand, and they reveal a torn up body in the confines of a small trailer home. Another 3 pictures show the destruction of the trailer's interior itself. And it looks as though nothing in this thing has been left undamaged. And as you're looking at the photos of this shredded up body, I need you to make that same sanity check.
Fail. What do we roll, 1 to 4 or something?
You take 1 point.
All right.
Sanity damage. I'll roll your damage.
We take 1 point.
Go ahead and make a search check as you're looking at these photos.
Search is 20.
Now, do I have to make another
Oh,
sanity check?
give me a 0. Oh, 21.
Was that Paulie?
Do I have to make another sanity check to look at the same pictures?
No. No, at this point, you're still like in Bach mode.
So are we like swapping files now?
No, you guys have looked at each
Okay.
at the files of each one.
65. I'm clueless as to what's there.
Yeah, you're just looking at the complete and sheer destruction of the interior of this mobile home, this trailer home.
Okay.
And you could see that the body itself is just shredded and ripped up.
Is it like in the bed, the shitter,
It was found in the bedroom.
all over?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's the spatter effect is from the pictures, from what you can tell, not being there, but it looks as though
the blood has dried for quite some time. That's in there.
Was the
couple
body
days.
was the body? I'm speaking to Dr. Wright here. Doctor, was the body also found in the same amount of time, or is this one? This one looks a little bit fresher.
Well, Wayne Tissel.
I'll handle this here, Abner. Let me explain something about Wayne Tissel. Wayne Tissel's what we call a peripheral resident. You see, he's one of those drifters that found himself in Hellbend and just never left. So he eventually settled in some kind of an old trailer that's a couple miles outside of Hellbend to the east. Somebody had lived in there for a while and then vacated it, and he just basically took it up as his own.
How long ago was that? Has he been in there for a while? I mean, maybe this attack could have
Probably
been
been there
for the-
about 4 months, maybe.
Okay. Well, I was going to say that maybe the attack would have been on previous resident, but 4 months there seems like he's been there for a while for someone to know.
Yeah.
Well, we ain't ever been in that trailer before, so it's anybody's guess what happened to the previous tenant.
Okay.
High school kids, they used to go out there and party in there all the time, smoke their pot, drink their hooch.
Got it.
Out of character, when you said they go there to potty, I was like, I didn't.
Smoke
T-
the
well, no, potty, like take a shit.
Oh. Yeah.
I was like, okay, I didn't get the regional accent of Death Valley. Oh, thank you, Sherry.
Dr. White, it looks from these pictures that the body's similarly dismembered as victim number 1, Miss Mayer, but I don't see any mention in the records about where his intestines are.
Oh, they were gone. Just like any other pack animal, when we went out there, when I was called out there by Deputy Androsi and Sheriff Mann, the door was already off the mobile home, hanging askew, and being that far away from all kinds of the population of Hellbend, he's basically out there all by himself. And that's where the pack animals, they'll hang out and they'll sniff around. They eat through garbage cans and stuff that are outside of the main population. So
They had their own party.
basically exactly. We attributed it to them coming on in there. We have a feeling that maybe Tissel may have overdosed and just died in his bed, and eventually the animals just came into his mobile home and took care of business, ate it up.
Okay, but Dr. White, this thoroughness of this complete dismemberment doesn't appear to be the work of scavengers, or does it in your experience in this jurisdiction?
Oh, you get these wild dogs out here all the time, and wild animals. They'll eat anything. They'll take your head. They'll take your hand if you're out there long enough. Even if you shoo them away, if you don't get away long enough, they eventually just keep coming around. They become immune if they're in their pack mentality.
So the largest predator you probably have around here is what? Coyotes, maybe wild dogs, mountain
Exactly.
lion,
Yep.
cougar, puma, bobcat.
Not really so much mountain lions out here. This is it's too hot for them out here, but stray wild dogs and coyotes out here, sure. You think of these small little dogs that it's not that big of a deal. Little mid-sized dogs. You get 8 of them, 10 of them, 12 of them all over you. It's all over if you're all by yourself, and especially if you passed out or already OD'd. So that's what we're attributing that death by overdose. And unfortunately, his body was subjected to the rigors of predators.
So you don't see the two being connected?
No, I sure don't. Not at all.
All right,
about
victim
the
number
third
3.
one? Yeah.
We'll open that one up. Who's victim number 3?
He hands you an envelope that says Clifford Potter.
Alrighty, and what did Clifford Potter do before his demise?
Well, it looked like Clifford Potter used to be an amateur treasure hunter going out there looking for shit out there at the old hunt factory, and he'd occasionally take his metal detector out there, and he rented a bobcat from the gas and sip in the middle of town. And looks like he fell out of the bobcat and got ran over by it. Pictures should show you what I'm talking about.
Let me take a look at the pictures.
You look at these pictures and you see a body that's been basically torn to pieces. All the pictures are from different angles. And the last two are of the bobcat itself, this light construction vehicle, and it's just covered in blood all over the side of it.
And where was he found?
He was found in an old culvert about almost a mile away from the hunt plant, from the ruins of it. I couldn't readily determine how Potter died, nor could I come up with a motive to indicate any kind of foul play. The best I could do is rule it some kind of a bizarre accident. The way I saw it, isn't this right, Abner?
Oh, yeah. The way we saw it is Potter must have somehow lost control of the bobcat and fallen underneath it while it was still moving.
The marks on his body didn't exactly line up with that, but it was a closer fit than anything else. Some deaths are just weird around here.
Was the area that you found the bobcat like any treacherous terrain that he might have fallen out of the car? Most people don't fall out of cars.
Well, he rented the bobcat as an effort to go out there and try and dig up some of the old hunt plant, trying to find loose copper pipes or whatever else could be used for money. He was an old retiree. But, yeah, most people don't really fall out unless they don't know how to use them. I mean, then again, if you put that bucket down and you try to dig something and it's immobile, the bobcat's probably going to wheelie up on you or something.
How far were the victims from each other?
Well,
What are you talking about?
I'm looking for a pattern.
you're talking about where they were found or where they lived?
Where they were found, where their bodies were found in radius, where Mr.
Were they all over Hell Bend, or were they?
Miss Mayer was found in a rocky outcropping. Mr. Tizzle was found in his trailer out in the middle of wherever it was. And Mr. Potter was found in a culvert. I'm just trying to triangulate.
Well, from where we standing right here, Clifford Potter was found about 2.5 miles north of Hellbend, near the old hunt plant. Lucille Mayer, she was found about 2 miles southeast of Hellbend, where the desert really starts to kick in. And as I mentioned before, Wayne Tissel was found almost 2 miles east of Hellbend in his trailer.
Yeah, we've recently just been briefed about this. Can you tell me a little bit about the old hunt plant? I'm not familiar.
Well, sure thing, I could do that for you. Next session.
You see on the door it says, in your county.
Somebody step on a duck?
Thank you for joining us once again on Roll the Hard 20 podcast. Remember, you can find us and subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and iHeart Radio. And if you like what you're hearing, please leave us that 5-star review. You can also contact the show directly at rollthehard20podcast@gmail.com or head on over to the website at rollthehard20podcast.com. And be sure to check out the galleries. We got a lot of really interesting stuff posted there. And finally, join us on our Patreon page at patreon.com/rollthehard20podcast. There are ways for you to help out the show and pick up swag. So until next session, keep your dice warm and your glass full as you roll those hard 20s.